Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Movie Show Plus. I'm your host, Tom Santilli, along with my partner in crime, brother from another mother, Mr.
That's
Greg
us.
Russell.
I'm your other host. Good to see you. Good to see you, Tom.
It's always good to see you, man. We're starting to make a habit of getting together and talking now. That's pretty interesting for us. Sometimes we have a lot of conflicts of interest and we can't
Right,
get here, but we've
right.
we've been doing it.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. So what else is new and exciting with you?
I was going to say it's not to say that we haven't been busy. We have
Right.
lots of stuff going on. I am headed as we record this. I'm heading out to New York City next week for a Netflix press event for two movies coming
Wow.
out in Netflix soon. Maria, which is
Hmm.
Maria Callas. Is that the opera singer?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a movie about her life, played by Angelina Jolie, and directed by Pablo Larraín, who did Jackie and
Hmm.
Spencer. So these are his kind of movies that he's been making lately. And then the other movie is called Emilia Perez. It has Selena Gomez in it.
Cool.
Don't know much about that one, but we're gonna check those out and go on a little fun little excursion to New York City. Of course, I have my day-to-day stuff that I'm doing is my new business venture. My There it is, my Farm
I was
Bureau
gonna say,
agency.
what does your shirt say? Yes.
This is end childhood hunger. That's our cause for Farm Bureau. But yeah, I have the Tom Santilli Farm Bureau agency now. We specialize in life insurance, home, auto, you name it. So I've been really entrenched in that. And so it'll be nice also to get out to New York City, just to give myself a little bit of a break. But yeah, Greg, how about yourself, man? You always are busy, but you've been especially busy not only with movie stuff, but as we can see your shirt. We didn't plan this, by the way. We just happen to
No,
both
we
be
didn't.
sporting our billboards today. There's the Russell Brothers City Tour. Uh, Tell people about that and what you've been up to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, things have really, really been picking up. Now we're also able to do groups of all different sizes. I just had a group of about 50 people from Atlanta last week who I gave a tour of the city of Detroit. But we can do everything from two people to 50, and everything in between. And the best part is, Tom, I love the fact that more and more people are vacationing here in Detroit and they're getting over all the stuff that they had always thought about before in the past, and they're also so amazed when they come here and see the city, and it's like,
Yeah,
I would have thought
yeah,
this is beautiful, and they want to come back. So for those of you who even live here in the city, a lot of you haven't been around,
yeah.
seeing what's going on here. Yeah, give Russell Brothers City Tours a call. We'll have the number at the end of the show, and yeah, love to take you around. There you
And
go.
what a great, like, rewarding thing, because we all love Detroit, right? And we all want to show off Detroit and how it's transforming, to the world. What a cool business to literally be able to take people and change their minds. These out, especially people from out of town, come in. They get to see all the sites, but
Right.
hosted by you, who's also so entrenched and so connected to Detroit, and you've lived here your whole life.
Yeah.
I just feel like, who wouldn't go on one of these tours? I mean,
Uh,
I think that that's amazing. And that
we
he
should
didn't
do.
pay me anything to say any of that. That was all just me from the heart,
We
or
should thank you, my
from the
brother.
teleprompter that Greg wrote. Oh, there it is. Okay.
We should do a movie show plus tour one day. Let's work
Wouldn't
on
that-
that.
Let's do that. It's a great idea.
Yeah,
I love it.
same
Um,
here.
what's going on in the world of movies, Greg? I know that you have a new hosting gig that you just successfully completed last month. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, Secret Cinema, and now it's been moved over to the Imagine, and we're doing it at the Imagine Palladium in Birmingham. Did the first one just about a week or so ago, and I loved it because I showed the movie Network, and as you and I, Tom, were talking about before we even started recording this show,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that movie, when I was a kid, basically. And you're watching and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this stuff will never happen. This
Yeah, it's
movie's
fantasy,
nuts.
right? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
TV? Oh my goodness. Everything in that movie has come true. And the one thing I even tell people the most is, remember the line, Tom? I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Mhm.
And then when he told the people, go to their windows and everybody say it, that was the first tweet. And those were the first retweets.
Wow. I love that, and that is great, and the movie, it's so amazing because it was amazing when it came out. It
Yep.
spoke to things as more of a satire, but it's become this, like, haunting, like,
Hmm.
it has predicted the future of media and really society, American culture and stuff like that. So I was telling you, I just rewatched it myself recently. Yeah, so what a great movie. Um, and people can. This is a monthly thing you're doing, so people will be able to take part in upcoming ones as well. Are they all going to be at Imagine Palladium?
To start with, yes, and I believe it's
Okay.
every third Wednesday of the month.
So just
So,
follow Greg on his socials and
yep.
don't follow him like through the streets and stuff like that. That would be awkward. If you see Greg
Right.
out there, don't, chase him down. I mean, you could.
We
He
still have
gives
some of those
autographs out free. He's
we
pretty
still have
nice.
some of those restraining orders. But then
Yes.
also, who knows, if you happen to run into me and you come up and say hi, I may have a goodie bag or so or two in the car from Movie Swag or with Movie
Wow.
Swag,
There
and
you
I'll hand it
go.
out. I did that the other week. That was so great, Tom. I was down. This isn't giving the store a plug, but I was down at the Midtown Whole Foods, and I just gotten off the air at Channel 4, and I had on the hat from, I gosh, I wish I could now remember what movie. And a guy came up and said, "Oh, hey, I just saw you on there. Oh man, I'm gonna go see this movie. I love whatever the characters are." I mean, it was something, that he knew about. I said, "Oh, do you like this hat?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Here you go."
Ha, nice.
Like, really? And I told him, I said, "Yeah." I said, I just put it on to come in the store, so it has no cooties or anything like that.
Glad they didn't ask for your shirt or your pants or anything, right? There we go.
Well, they did ask about that, and it was like, "No, this is as far as I
Yeah.
go."
Whoa,
But
are we on a
yeah,
late night? I'm sorry, we're in the middle of the day here. I better clean it up.
right.
Um, no, yeah, man, that's awesome. And of course, as busy as we are, and you got the TV stuff and the radio, all those things. We're also, though, it's hard to believe that we are officially in the award season in what
Yeah,
is pretty much a wide open year, right? I mean, this is
yeah.
not a year where there have been a lot of movies being talked about from the early parts of the year as far as award consideration goes.
Mhm.
I know that October, the month of this show, the big movie a lot of people are looking forward to is the Joker
Right.
due. And there's
Mhm.
also the Saturday Night Live movie called Saturday Night that's expanding wide in October. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, man, is there anything really that has stuck out to you as far as like you're rooting for it thus far, or are we kind of open right now to
Wow.
the fall slate?
Well, the one that I just saw recently, it was the documentary, the one on Christopher Reeve.
Mm,
And that is a very moving documentary. And I think it's because all of us, when I say grew up with him, even though I was an adult, when the movie came out, but young adult, 19 or something like that. But here's the guy who we all knew as Superman, every single one of us.
yeah,
And we truly did believe what Richard Donner said, you will believe a man can fly. And just to see this documentary about, just how he got started, the other movies he did, him and his family. And then, as we all know, the tragic accident
yeah.
that basically left him paralyzed from the neck down. Because there was even one part where he was talking, actually, I should say the shoulders down, talking about
Mhm.
other than his shoulders, he couldn't feel anything ever, and just all that went on, with his life. And then, as we also know, I mean, this obviously isn't giving anything away because it's a documentary based off of a real person that we all
Sure.
knew. Uh, at the end, his wife, who had taken care of him so well, dies like a year and a half later from lung cancer, and she never smoked. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And
Great. But it's
I
it's
had an
more of a
opportunity.
triumph. It's a uplifting movie, and not a downer, right? I mean, it really makes you appreciate how
Oh yeah.
amazing this family was and this man. Um, so that's definitely one. Another good. Speaking of documentaries, I just saw one on Netflix, uh,
Oh
called Will and Harper. I don't know if you saw that movie. It's
yeah.
Will
Mhm,
Ferrell, and it goes across country with his recently transitioned friend Harper, who had prior been a writer on Saturday Night Live with Will
mhm.
Ferrell. I thought that was a fascinating, touching, really good movie for those that
Yeah.
are looking for good documentaries. There's a lot of them, but yeah, man. So there's a lot to look forward to still coming down the pipe. I have big news for the two of us, which I can now publicly share to everybody out there, at least to mark their calendar. Um,
Okay.
Last year, because of it's still crushing to me that the loss of the Maple Theater in
Yeah.
Bloomfield Hills,
Yeah.
not to mention all the other independent theaters we've lost over the past couple years here in the Metro Detroit
AMC,
area.
yeah, I'm still hurt over that.
Yeah. Uh, However, last year, because of the timing of the closing of the Maple, we were not able to do our annual Oscar gala. Well, I have good news. We're in talks, and it's officially going to happen in some way, shape, or form. The Oscars are March 2nd. And I can announce right now that we are partnering with the Rooster Tail in downtown Detroit,
Wow.
a longtime sponsor of our show, a historic place. Every Motown act in the planet has played
Mhm.
there. It's been around forever. It's so amazing if you've never been there. But we're gonna do it up. We're gonna do an Oscar gala party like never before. It's gonna be amazing.
Great.
Greg will be there. Maybe he'll give you his hat or his shirt if you ask nicely. And
Tons of stuff, folks.
and yeah, it's just a good time. And I know, I mean, we're like 6 months out, right? But put it on your calendar because it's going to be the only Oscar game in town. And we want everybody. We want it to be a celebration of movies. All the people from the Maple and the Maine, and all the people that don't know where to go anymore because their favorite theater closed down, come celebrate
Yeah.
movies with us at the Rooster Tail, and look forward to that.
Love that place. Love that place. I mean, again, this is not even a commercial form, but they're a great place to go. I was just there for a wedding reception about a month ago
Mhm.
and just fabulous. And, the Shanas came by, said hello, which is great. And everybody just really enjoyed themselves. So if you have been there before, I know you can't wait to see it again. If you haven't, this is truly something else that should be on your Detroit tour list to
Yeah.
see the Rooster Tail.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Greg, what do you say? Why don't we give the people what they came for? Some classic
Ah,
celebrity interviews with Greg from his recent outings.
mhm.
Some previews of the movies that you can look forward to seeing in October. Some featurettes and some other surprises. This is Movie Show Plus. We're always thankful to be on the air, to be
Yes, sir.
on the internet, whatever, however things are transmitted now. I don't even know. I was going to say the airwaves. That's not. Is that a thing anymore? I don't even know.
In living color. There we go.
In living color. There you go. So yeah, everybody enjoy this episode of Movie Show Plus. We've been doing this monthly. We'll be back for a November version at the end of October. So until then, Greg,
Absolutely.
what do you got? Anything for the people to leave them with?
Hey, enjoy the movies, folks. And hopefully you will run into Tom and I out on the street. And like we said, if we've got our goodie bags, you got goodie stuff coming to you.
Hello. Do you need assistance?
One of my favorite things about The Wild Robot is the powerful and emotional through line.
It's a story about a robot that gets marooned on an island with nothing other than wild animals.
These animals want nothing to do with her, and they consider her to be a monster.
As sophisticated as she is completely new in this environment.
She starts looking for a task. That is what she's designed to do. She runs across a goose nest with one single egg. And now she's found her very first job.
Guten Tag.
Their relationship is obviously mother and son, and it just gets stronger and stronger throughout. It's all about humanity and family more than anything, which for me is everything.
Here you go, kid.
It's kind of exploring the question of what is humanity, and Roz is far more human than she thinks.
Ready?
I guess I have to be.
This movie is not afraid to pull at your heartstrings.
Come on, find that woo inside you.
Searching.
That needs a lot more work.
We gathered an amazing cast for The Wild Robot.
Chipper, I completed my task.
Lupita really helped us understand getting to the heart of what her character's all about.
Swimming's easy. I can teach him the way my mom taught me. Swim!
Pedro, there was this sort of impish quality that he had,
I have some essential needs.
almost like a little kid.
Just swimming!
Kit brought Bright Bill to life, his delivery and feeling in his voice
Roz, I could use a boost.
was incredible.
This film has been made with very loving hands.
The look of the film was really based on this amazing illustrative style.
It's a very beautiful collaboration of the old and the new.
We can paint things like a painter would.
Right now, we are their only chance.
It's impressionistic, but it's more real. Roz is an unrelentingly kind character, and kindness can be a survival skill.
These characters, they're relatable, they're funny, they learn how to care about each other.
Don't be afraid! People are going to really enjoy watching a robot learn how to be wild. I am a wild robot. Aggression detected.
How would you like to see the city of Detroit like you've never seen it before? Hi, I'm Greg Russell of Russell Brothers City Tours. Come on, let's get on board and take a tour of the city of Detroit. What's the difference between our company as compared to other tour companies? Well, one thing that we like to do is show you stuff that we're pretty sure you probably never have seen or heard of. Just give us a call, 313-399-0683, or go to our website, Russell Brothers City Tours, or on all social media. Come on, we'd love to take you for a ride.
Everybody's looking for a hero. I am not a hero. That was a part. I played the part. I'm not that man.
Hands down, he was Superman from day one.
I realized that if I could pull off this part, it would change my life.
I have to start out by saying it this way. I've seen a lot of documentaries, throughout my time talking about movies. This had to be the most moving one I swear I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All of us who saw it, you could tell when we were laughing, during the appropriate times, cheering during the appropriate times, and all crying during the appropriate times. And just very, very moving, film. And just want to start out, Will, what's that like, seeing your family and, the triumphs and different things, that have gone on now on screen?
Having your family story laid out cinematically and artfully and so movingly as our directors Peter and Ian did is an honor. To have a life story told in such a way is not something that everyone gets to experience, and it's not something we had experienced until this. We have a very strong family tradition of storytelling and memory sharing, and we're lucky that we had so many home movies and photos, and we have such strong family bonds that we felt like we remembered our whole lives, the good and the bad, the triumphant and the tragic. But to see it all presented in such a masterful way is such a gift to us, and will be a gift hopefully to future generations of our family, but also to the world who remember our dad and my mom, or maybe are going to learn about them for the first time. That matters a lot to us, that this is a definitive piece of art that will stand the test of time.
Absolutely. And I was going to say next to you, Alexandra, I mean, it is one of those things where you guys were just laid, as the old saying goes, raw. There was no per se candy coating or anything. It was like we got to see the highs and we truly got to see the lows.
It mattered to us that this was the whole story, that you saw the hard days and the good days. The dad wasn't just a hero for whom it was turned on easily, that he was overcoming real obstacles a lot of the time. And for us, we didn't have control over this film. We sat for interviews and then hoped that the result would work out well. And I think what we see is so many people relate to this, because if you've lost someone in your life, if you've gone through adversity in your life, if you've supported a partner going through it, there are themes in there that resonate with everyone. And that was one of the biggest surprises, but also one of the real gifts in seeing how the film came together in the end.
That's for sure. And Matthew, I mean, it is, like Ed mentioned, just very, very moving. And even the things outside of Hollywood, because there was the one part where your dad had said that he didn't want to have his family, be a broken family. He wanted everybody to stay together. And as a child of divorce, I understand that, where it takes a good parent who wants to make sure that no matter what happened with the parents, we're family. You're my kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Alexandra, my mother and our father worked very hard to kind of keep a level of normalcy, through their separation process. And then when Dana came along, I mean, it was just love at first sight for everyone. And we were just, instantly just kind of grew as a family. And then when Will was born, even more so. And that bonded relationship stayed, strong throughout the accident and for everything. So it was, I mean, that was always, I think, Dad's mission is to have some degree of normalcy through the fame and the Hollywood part of it, and then also through sort of the family ups and downs and changing relationship dynamics.
No, that's for sure. And to be quite honest, I could sit here and talk to you guys for hours, about this whole thing, but I do have to go. But again, thank you all very, very much. And again, just very, very moving, very, very touching. And I can't wait to tell people about it and get them out to see it.
Thank you so much.
It's great to hear.
Appreciate it.
Switch office.
I am a special agent. We've been shot and attacked on the highway.
Okay, try to remain online, please.
We are shot. We are shot.
It's my first week as an FBI agent. My boss told me, here we work against the Zetas.
All the cartels use violence to achieve their aims. The Zetas took it to a different level.
Their calling card was brutality.
Anyone who stood up to them
would wind up dead.
You couldn't think that a person could imagine even a story like this if they were just writing it, for a series or something. And this is true. Talk a little bit about that whole situation.
Yeah, and I mean, to speak to that point, Dan and I have been sending screenshots back and forth, watching the series move up the charts and really breaking into the top two. That's exactly the takeaway, is that you have to beat out scripted stories, you have to beat out movie stars, and you have to beat it with a true story and non-actors. And I think that just speaks to not only the story, but us as a team and the way that you can kind of cultivate and curate those stories to really put the emphasis on a place. I think it should always be is the good guys. A lot of these series glamorize the bad guys. I think we had fun kind of focusing on the other side of the story and humanizing them, right? Scott's not an FBI agent. He's not a suit. He's a guy. You can relate to him. The same with Steve. Attributed to Mark Twain, he said, of course, truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense.
But you can't take yourself away from this, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, testament to the story. It just kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think one of the hardest things for us was, how do we, we have a wealth of story, unbelievable story. How do we find those moments to keep you going? Because, by the end of it, we're all on Scott's side, we're on Ginger's side, that we're with that story, but you have to keep the audience guessing.
It is an art, choosing gladiators. They're usually prisoners of war.
I claim this city for the glory of Rome.
You have something in you. Rage. Never let it go. It will carry you to greatness. I own you now. But whose head could I give you to satisfy your fury?
The general will do. Rome has taken everything from me. But I will have my vengeance.
There is plenty of pain waiting for you in the next life. I don't know why you are so greedy for it in this one.
Your Majesties.
This is your gladiator.
It is. I have the trust of the Emperor. It will clear my path to the throne. You will be my instrument.
I will never be your instrument in this life or the next.
Lucius, take your father's strength. His name was Maximus, and I see him in you.
Most fighters won't survive.
You must help him.
Strength among us! I don't fight for power. I fight the free road for men like them.
Your name will be forgotten!
To restore order, I must have power.
Everything is forgotten in time. Empires fall, so do emperors.
This is war! Real war!
The odds are against you. The odds are always against me.
Ready to roll!
Agatha.
Who's been best
blessing of everything.
The covenless witch.
It's been Agatha all along.
No. What really happened to you?
Seekest thou the road to all that's foul and fair?
She took every little bit of power I had.
Gather sisters far.
I'm assembling a coven. We gotta get back on top. I'm gonna walk the road. Join me.
I'll start with you, Deborah Jo. Talk a little bit about this great adventure you all go on with Agatha, just trying to help her, get things taken care of.
It was very alive for me. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was very nice to return to this project because there's a lot of freedom in it and that I don't often experience when I work. So it was kind
it's
of
really the show's tactile.
Yeah,
there's you're actually literally dealing with physical elements and all the things of earth, fire, water. You do all of that. So I think you can feel that in the performances.
Yeah.
And every episode is so different.
Yeah.
There's so many different tones episode to episode and so many twists and turns in each episode. And I hope people have that feeling of wanting and needing to see how the story goes because it gets really wild.
Yeah.
No, that's for sure, because Ali, the stories do. They kind of drag in because you're thinking you're going one way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Next thing you know, here comes this, whoa, great U-turn.
That's what Jack Schaefer does really well. She did that in WandaVision too, because you didn't know in WandaVision for quite a while what was happening, and she does this really well.
Yeah.
Check out MovieShowPlus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.